Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of The Rampage. Today is a special, but before I get into that, let me just do my little intro. So if you're listening to us, you're listening to us on WBCR.net. And if you want to keep up with other shows here on the station, it is WBCR_CUNY on Instagram. Full-length episodes will be posted to WBCR_CUNY on YouTube. So stick around for that. Tune in for that. And of course, if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at therampagewbcr@gmail.com and DM us and follow us on Instagram at therampagewbcr. Woo! Oh my God. So today is a very special episode because we have, how many guests do we have today, Andy?
You got like four guests, you know.
I love how we had to turn around.
And who's special about them? What's special about these guests?
You know, they're professionals in their own form, you know. They got their own podcasts, radio shows. You know, they're the best in the business at Brooklyn College.
So some of these voices you've heard before here. We have, what's it called? Damn, bro. I don't know what's going on today. But some of them have their own shows on WBCR. We have Daniel from the Get Back. Hi, Daniel.
What's up?
We have Oscar and Sean from Beyond the Box Score. Say what's up, y'all.
How's it going?
And we have EJ, who's here as a guest today, a formal guest. Woo!
Hey, what's up, guys?
And normally what we do whenever we have a guest is we give out treats, but I left my treats in my bag. So you'll be getting it after the show. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You will get your treats. Okay, so I do like to do my visual descriptions, but we don't have a camera today, so maybe it'll be helpful. But most people, most of the panel is wearing a hoodie, myself included. We weren't trying to match today, but I guess that's what we did. So without further ado, we have the men's special. This is Ask a Man, and I came up with a bunch of questions from the audience, of course, and some of them are silly, some of them are serious, but they're forced to answer these questions. So we have 4 men right now. It's supposed to be 5. One of them's on his way. But they will answer your questions. So are we ready for the first question?
Yes, ma'am.
I was born ready.
Yeah.
That didn't sound very confident.
The hesitation
but, okay.
is real.
So I guess the first question is, why do some men not have goals or ambitions?
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a very, very open-ended question. I mean, well, there's like, honestly, 1,000 different answers to that. I mean, like, one, we're living in like a really tough period in history. Like, our planet is like on fire. It's like every apartment in the city, like a 1-bedroom in like Canarsie costs like $1,500 every like each month. You know.
Right.
And I think because of that, because things seem so hopeless sometimes and things seems like everything seems so dire, I think a lot of people despair, you know, and a lot of people just are like, oh, what should I even hope for? What should I even strive for? Everything is so limited. Everything's closing in around me. I think I'm going to be like dead soon. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit dire to start things off. And then there's also just some people that, you know, have either just had too easy of a life or sometimes even kind of too tough of a life and just are like, you know, I don't need, usually if you have too privileged of a life, you're like, I don't need to do this because you're just used to things going your way and you're used to kind of for things being, your ride being easier to places. But if you've had a really tough life sometimes, you're just like, you know, my hard work is never rewarded and, you know, what's the point of even trying? Sorry, I went on for a little bit. I'm going to let everyone else speak.
So it depends, right? I feel like it depends on your age range because if you're in your early to mid-20s, you are still trying to figure it out, whether that's through working a bunch of different places, whether that's through school. You're trying to figure out what your career goals are, what you want to get out of life. So I feel like it does depend on age range because the older you get, the more wise you become, the different things you try out, the more you see of what truly suits you. So I feel like it also comes from there. But like Oscar's right, it also comes from there's people who just don't have career ambitions based on where they are in life. They feel comfortable, and you know that comfort zone for people is really suiting for them. So getting out of that comfort zone, trying something new doesn't really work out for them.
Mm-hmm. And I'd also just like to add that it's kind of hard trying to find out like what you're interested in because you have to try a whole bunch of stuff before you actually think, hey, like this is right for me and I should be striving for something more.
Yeah, I just real quick. I just want to add on. I feel like going back to the age range sort of thing. I feel like most people kind of just become content in their later years and just kind of learn to settle down and like they've achieved what they wanted to achieve. I don't think it's a matter of we don't have goals or achievements. I think it's like we've settled on we're happy with our lives and that we just want to relax and just have a simple routine, go about our day-to-day life, and not trying to achieve. It's not like we don't want to achieve anything. It's like we have done what we needed to do, right? And I think that's kind of at the end of the day what we try to strive for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And the last thing I'll say is I also think in this world we live in where we see so many things presented to us through social media. It's like, oh, you're 25, you don't own a house yet, like you suck and you're a failure. And some I think we put too much expectations on each other. Like, you gotta like have your 10-year plan like ready right now. And I think, when you're in your 20s and sometimes maybe a little bit older, I mean, you got to be doing things, don't get me wrong, like at least have a job, at least like treat people right, at least like have some kind of thing you do. But like, I think it's okay to sometimes, give your partner space to figure their things out as long as they're doing right by you, as long as they're doing something, they're not just sitting on the couch all day. I think there's nothing really wrong with, not always having everything planned out right away.
That's fair.
Life is scary sometimes.
It is. So everybody's cool with their answer. Nobody wants to add on nothing. Next question?
Yeah, I think we're good.
So next question is, would you love me if I was a worm?
Jesus. Why do we agree to this? Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you. That was the right answer.
Yes.
We can move on to the next question.
Of
Yes.
course.
You guys
Well,
did.
also the question is I definitely would love you. I'd buy you the soil and like the worm tank you
Exactly.
need.
like a
But,
little.
but I
okay.
also need you putting in work for me. Making sure the soil's nice so we can grow fruit and stuff together and things like that. There's got to be a bit of a given. I'm being a provider. I'll get you your worm tank with like the space and like the dirt in it. But like
I'll help you grow, but you need to produce like what we need in order for survival.
And when I was a kid, like I used to pick worms from the garden. So like,
Really?
yeah, 100%. Like lifting up rocks and shit.
Okay.
It's all good. Don't worry.
You used to take worms from the ground?
Yeah.
What's
So
wrong
you
with
would
that?
literally take
Ah.
people from their homes?
No, but yeah, I was there first.
Yeah.
You were there.
So he would take them from their home and put them in a new home.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
You know that worm ain't
It's okay.
surviving.
Next
We live in a
question.
concrete
Alright,
jungle.
yeah.
They ain't surviving. There's no soil in New York.
Yeah.
Next question. Okay. So why do some men reduce the attention they give their partners? Is it intentional?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I mean, that's like I said, it's very broad. Like there's a lot of different scenarios. Look, I think whether you're man, woman, non-binary, whatever you identify as, you always, I don't know, like make sure if you still want to be with that person, if you still love them, you still want to be in that relationship. It's important that you always put in at least a little bit of effort. Don't save all the effort for the first few dates. Plan a nice date every once in a while. Maybe cook something nice. Buy him a little gift, or just, sometimes just little words of affirmation, maybe write him a little note. Be like, yo, you mean this to me? Every once in a while, like, I think it's important that every once in a while you check in, make sure you let your partner know how important they are to you. But with that being said, I don't know. I mean, it's a really sad thing. Some people take what they got for granted, and I'm not. I've been guilty of that before, and I've also experienced kind of the same thing. I think that I don't know. I think sometimes people get too comfortable, and I think it's really just that simple. You take what you have for granted, and sometimes when your relationship's been going so well, you just kind of always expect like this is always what I'm going to get, and that's not always the case. You gotta make your partner feel special. No matter what gender you are, and that doesn't always have to be through like money and things like that, materialist goods. It's got to, you just got to it also depends on who they are as a person. Find out what they like and do something nice for them.
Yeah.
I also feel like it stems from people just naturally grow apart, right? Because I feel like even if you're in a committed relationship with a person, you're still living two completely different lives.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not around that person, you're doing something completely different from what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I feel like whether it's a career opportunity or whatever it is that separates you from your partner, it's an opportunity that you can't pass up on, that jeopardizes the relationship. And it's just a natural life thing that could happen to anyone, But as long as, whether it's, through separation, as long as you're not intentionally hurting the other person through what you're doing or saying, then I think it's okay. Like if it's for something normal, now obviously cheating wouldn't be okay, but if it's like if you're away from that partner for like a good reason, for something personal, like individual benefit or growth, then it's understandable.
I'd also like to add that like once you show like a woman too much attention, they might draw back, and they won't get like the same type of feeling that they get from when you first started to like show interest in them. So I feel like when guys kind of like draw back a little bit, it's kind of like, okay, maybe it's like a, I don't know, I think it's like a breadcrumb effect where you stop showing and then you start showing, and then the feeling starts to spark again. So yeah, a lot of guys just draw back sometimes.
You feel like being inconsistent, like it works sometimes?
I'm not saying that I've used this before,
Okay.
but
So I guess my question is like,
in terms of like dating,
you're in a relationship already, and
Okay.
then you're doing stuff at the beginning, but then you stop doing the stuff. Why do people do that? You've never done it, so you can't speak on it?
No, I can't speak on it.
That's
I'm
fair.
sorry.
That's fair.
I don't know.
We'll let Qadri
I'm gonna
weigh in.
piggyback off what Oscar said. I think it is we get too comfortable. Like I've been guilty of this too. That's why my last relationship ended, because I got comfortable and I wasn't making effort, and I was taking what I had for granted. And when that doesn't work out, that's when you feel it the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like guys they do that a lot. They just like stop showing effort. Like you said, first few months, like getting to know the person, taking them out and stuff like that. It's all good and stuff. But then when you're in the relationship, people get comfortable and they don't want to do anything. And I know friends that have ended their relationship because of that.
And look, but that works for some people though.
Yeah,
It works for some people because you're showing effort the first 6 to 8 months of the relationship, but once you move in together, it's just comfortable, just you two together. There's no effort. As long as you're together, everything's fine. It just works different for relationships. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not.
I think it's always, I agree. And, I think it's a very healthy thing that, any man who finds himself in that position where you're kind of like, damn, like I didn't put in the effort, now I feel bad. I think, it's good, kind of do it. I'm not going to speak for Qadri entirely, but I think it's very healthy what Qadri does. He, instead of just blaming the situation or other circumstances, I hope he doesn't just entirely blame himself, but I think you got to take accountability and responsibility for not only just the relationship, but also for your feelings, and be like, hey, sometimes I made some actions that later down the line led to me being upset, and let me figure out what I did so I don't do it again. Yeah. And that's very important. I would recommend that everyone do that. I'm a man, so I can only speak for men, but I recommend that everyone try and do that. Yeah.
I think it's a very common thing that men do all the time, right? It's like we always get in a relationship, we think we have it all, and then normally it's our first or second relationship, so we think we know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know her feelings, and we kind of go off of what we think is right? Mm-hmm. And when it comes to having an extended relationship and planning out a future and all that, we don't realize that. We don't realize what we have. We take it for granted, and we kind of just back off and think, oh, we just have a girlfriend, so we're fine. But that's not the case. And it's a very common mistake for a lot of young men out there who are getting into their first relationship or getting their second relationship. And it's something you have to learn, something that you have to look at yourself and be like, what type of relationship do I want to have with this person? Not just what I want to have for the first few months, but for the future. And if it's not for the future, you have to realize that.
I like these responses.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was gonna add. You guys were saying, right? Damn, it just crossed my mind. Next question.
Next question, are you sure?
Face.
Okay. This is a fun one. What's the worst date you've ever been on? For the people that have been on dates.
Oh, I've had a few bad ones, but I don't know. This one I'm also going to tell just because it was funny, and it was this summer. So I don't know.
I'm so curious. I have to know. Please don't.
So I'm pretty sure I actually submitted it to one of your other shows.
Yeah, I remember.
So,
I was just like, what is going on here when I read it?
So I meet Shorty through Hinge. I was on Hinge because I don't know. It's especially when you go to Brooklyn College, a commuter school. It's not always the easiest to meet partner women in real life and stuff. So I got to go on Hinge and stuff. And then she was really cute and stuff, and I was excited. I meet Shorty at this place in Williamsburg, and mind you, she saw the ingredients on the menu. No one tricked her or anything. And
everybody knows it's going.
So she ordered some, it was an empanada with cheese in it and stuff. Yeah. And so we get through the little appetizers. We're feeling each other out, because we really don't. We met on the internet. We don't really know each other that well. So we're getting appetizers before, we're deciding if we maybe want to get more food, get some drinks, maybe go to a bar, see where things go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just noticed, like, Joey's, like, kind of getting a little bit pale. And I'm just like, hey, like, you okay? I feel bad. I'm like, dude, are you all right? And she was like, honestly, like, she's like, I'm lactose intolerant. And I was like, shorty, why'd you get the empanadas with cheese in them? And fully knowing that. And, like I feel really, I feel bad. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I get the waiter. I'm like, hey, let's get the bill. Like, let's. Yeah. And, like, she's like, let's just go for a little walk. I'll probably feel better soon. I noticed, like, she's starting to turn a little bit green and stuff. And I'm just like, I just feel bad. And I'm just like, I'm letting her, like, lean on my shoulder and stuff for, like, support. And then, like, there's this, like, outdoor, like, seating, like, bar, whatever. So I go and get a chair from there. I'm like, here, sit here. Like, let's get. And I offer to, like, call her the Uber. But then she's like, and then, like, she kind of, like, is kind of gagging a little bit. And she's just like, no, like, I'll get it myself. And, like, then, like, yeah, so I waited for her because it's a nice thing to do. I waited for the Uber. I made sure she got in. Never saw her again. And, like, the only thing that got me a little bit salty is I hit her up. I was like, hey, like, sorry about that. Like, text me when you get home so I know you're, like, valid and stuff. Yeah. She never hit me back, which I thought was a little bit rude. Yeah, that's a little bit rude. I'm like, you tight at me because you pooped your pants? Like, Like,
what ended up happening? Did she, like, throw up or, like, you? No,
I didn't see anything happen. Like, hopefully she got home before then.
I hope so.
No, I say that to be funny. Like, I'm not salty. Like, hopefully she's okay.
Oh, wait, so you never heard from her again?
Never heard from her again.
She was probably embarrassed, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's embarrassment, honestly.
Yeah. No, I feel bad. I feel bad.
At least text the person you're home. Like,
like that you're okay.
Yeah, and then you could ghost. And then
just straight like, I'm good, and just drop it right there.
And then you could ghost. Okay, can anybody top that?
No.
Honestly, no.
No. You got it on that.
Nah, bro, you got that. Anyone want to go?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. All the dates I've been on, the person might have been boring, but I don't know. I have that personality that I make that come out of another person, and that's why I feel like I haven't had that experience yet with a bad date. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, in the future I don't have any of that experience, especially that one. That was bad.
That was not fun. But I mean, it wasn't.
You held it down though. You held it down.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun, and then, like, I linked up with some of my friends who lived in that area, and we hung out. It wasn't that bad, That's a funny story too.
Okay, EJ, do you have anything you want to say?
I do have a bad date, but
share it.
All right, so this was in 2019, like before like the pandemic happened. So I graduated high school in 2020. So like my prom year was from like 2019 to 2020, and there was this girl that I wanted to ask for so long. Not gonna share her name for obvious reasons, but I had this date planned out where we were gonna go watch a movie, and then like after the movie, like, we were gonna, like, I was gonna ask her, like, out to prom. And it was, like, a late night movie, so I don't know. Like, it was really romantic.
Oh, okay.
But we had the same AP art history class, and there's, like, this whole bunch of, like, commotion going on. And I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? The guy does a promposal to the girl that I wanted to go with.
No.
Yeah.
The biggest promposal. He walks out of class, rose petals. Whole hallway just lined up, signs, everything. I'm just like, damn. Like, I was just gonna ask you with like a little sign, like maybe some chocolate, like.
He went all out.
He went all out. And I was like, damn. And like, I'm like a busy person, like even from young. So like, I planned that date out like 2 weeks in advance.
Damn, bro.
So
this other guy rolled out the red carpet, bro.
The red carpet. The red carpet.
Damn.
And I was tight that day. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
because we were speaking about it. We were like, hey, like, I like the color green. Like, I might do a green like dress. Like, you might do like, I mean, she'll do like a green dress, like green suit. Like, we was planning it. So we go on the date, and like, I'm not the type of guy to just be like, hey, like, screw. Like, she's like a cool person, so. I was
you went
like,
on the
fine.
date after with her? After she got asked?
Yes, I did.
Okay. 2 weeks.
So
he planned it for 2 weeks. No.
So hold on. Was it awkward?
No, here's the thing. Like we had a really good time, but after like we were like recapping, and she told me like, hey, like, did you want to ask me out to prom?
What'd you say?
I said yeah. Like.
Ooh.
And then we were just talking about it, and she was like, yeah, like, maybe, like, if you had asked me before, like...
it's always that.
It's always that. And I just felt so bad, like...
Damn, bro.
And then, like, COVID happened, and prom never happened, so...
one.
it didn't even matter. Like he didn't get to go to prom 3. I didn't get to go.
God's
So
plan, man.
Wait,
God's plan.
so wait. I mean, like, the story is like, you kind of
No,
came out on top because you
no,
actually went on a
no.
date with her and he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Prom didn't happen for the dude either.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Right.
It all worked out in the end and you still got
Like,
the date, so.
it was always in the back of my head that like, damn, like this was supposed to be for something else. Like at the end of the night, like I was supposed to like get an answer, and she was supposed to be available, but she wasn't.
Yeah,
So.
I still see your shadows in my
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna have more men answering questions after the break. Hello. And we're back with more questions to ask these men. They've been very good sports so far, answering all the questions that I asked them. But, it's time to keep it up. I think now we're back. We're going to come back with something way more serious than EJ's story. Is there an ex you always think about?
Hold on. Can Quadri go first?
Yeah, I think
Quadri
he
go
should go
Quadri
first.
could go first.
Yes, there is, yes. And I'm guilty because, like I told Sean, because I share, Sean's my guy, right? I tell him everything. So
Right.
2-3 days ago, I had like a vivid, and I told Oscar too.
Yeah.
I had a vivid dream about my ex, and I was like, but she was with her new man or whatever the case is, right? And it was so vivid. It was like, yo, there was a picture of us, like, doing the same pose, but he was there, and I was like, why is this so vivid? Like, I'm like under the influence, so I shouldn't be even dreaming. So I woke up the next morning, and I was like, damn, like, I'm in my bag, right? So what do? I pull out IG, I'm like, hey, how you been? And I texted her, and I was like, damn it, why did I do it? But yeah, I miss her sometimes, and most of the times, yeah, something like that.
That's fair. Thank
That's
you
all
for
I'm
your
saying,
honesty.
Yeah.
Thank
Be
you
like,
for your honesty. Does anybody else want to go?
heart, gang. Yeah, I'm a heart.
Does anybody else have an ex they always think about?
Come on, I can't be the only one.
Yeah, I do. And we actually like rekindled like recently,
Oh, nice.
but yeah, it was like one of my like high school crushes. Well, not crushes. She was my ex, but she went to the military, so we broke up.
Damn.
And then
Damn.
like
Okay.
I like ceased like communication with her until like 2022. We texted for a little bit, and then I just now got her Instagram, and that was a week ago. So I don't know.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Do you want to spark anything back up or just be friends?
Honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
that's fair. It is kind of early, so.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean? You look like you want to say something.
I do. It's just. All right. I don't consider her technically my ex, but I guess for the purposes, sure. So there was this girl I used to go to high school with, and all right, I'm gonna put it this way: she hates my guts now. Now,
Whoa.
I
Escalated quickly.
Escalated
yeah,
very quickly,
I-
but okay.
I did mess up.
Okay.
I was in high school, 11th, 12th grade, and even honestly, my freshman year of college was when I kind of did mess up because we started in Brooklyn. We finished high school together, and we started Brooklyn College the same year. And I was like really trying to like push it to forcing it to be a relationship, and then she didn't want it. And then like there was one day where I kind of did flip out at her, which I do regret. And now like she doesn't talk to me. We still follow each other on Instagram. She has a man. It's like the guy's name with the heart next to it in her bio. So I'm like, yeah. She blocked my number, but we still have each other on IG. But like, I never like try to text her. Like, what am I gonna text her now? I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Honestly, for me, it was a learning experience. I feel like I did mess up. It is what it is. I just move on and be better. Obviously.
That's good. I like a good self-reflection. What about you, Oscar? You got anything to say?
Like I'm not even like in like a I'm so cool way, but like not like I don't know. I haven't had like an actual like official like we call each other boyfriend and girlfriend in years. I've been Mr. Situationship for like a while now. At first, a few years ago, it's because I was really young and I was like, I don't know if I'm really ready for that. And also, with that being said, that makes it seem like I'm like a player or something. That's not necessarily true. Like there'll be times when like I don't want the situationship to progress and she kind of does, so it kind of needs to end. There'll be times when I want
And
it
then
to
they
be more
don't.
of a
Yeah,
relationship,
that's how
and
it is.
she's like,
I don't
"No, Oscar,
Yeah.
you're broke and you're a journalist." So like,
Yo, honestly, that's facts.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how it be.
Yeah.
I'm like the cool guy who's out there and stuff, that you might meet before you meet like the finance bro who's, really lame,
Yeah.
but
The finance bro works on Wall Street and is in the suit every day.
Yeah, exactly. But what was the question? Oh yeah, do I still think about my ex? Not like I remember I did have like my ex, like when we first broke up when I was in high school. I thought about her a lot. It was kind of a tough experience for me because like I felt like, there's more things I could have done. I felt like I wasn't like always the best boyfriend and stuff. But that's what you live and you learn.
Yeah.
And since then, sometimes there are girls who I think or women who I think about, and I'm like, damn, like I could have done more here, there, but like at the same time, not really, like not in a serious way, like where my heart is longing and like.
Yeah.
So you really
I'm
haven't
really
met
sad.
the one that you thought like, yeah, like that's the one that got away.
Oh no, I have, but thankfully, but
Ooh.
I've been, but one like I'll be real, like mostly because I've been like interested in it since I was like younger, but I've like not necessarily sexually active, but I've been like hanging out with girls and stuff since I was like pretty young, like compared to like maybe the average person. So like I've met a lot of people who like kind of might have got away. Like I have had like girls like that, but like eventually you kind of got to move on.
Yeah.
You got to be like, hey, I'm young. I'm like pretty cool. I have things going for me. I can meet somebody else. And like, I don't know. My advice to people who are still thinking about their ex and stuff, like the instance in which you met your ex, it was probably mad random. Either you met her in school, you met her at work, you met her through Instagram. You definitely did not plan it. You didn't know who she was probably before you met her at all. Or maybe you did, maybe you did. But like,
100%.
what I'm trying to say is you found love. You found someone who made you feel like that, just mad randomly one day, or maybe not so randomly. It can happen again. The world is really big. Especially we live in New York, man.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
people.
Big.
No, but
Imagine
that's
you.
what makes it worse, though. Like, there's
I
so
can-
many to
but
choose from. So
Imagine
many
you
people
lived
to
in
meet.
Idaho, bro. There's like 5 girls in the whole town.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
If you're in
like-
Montana, bro. You
Yeah,
have to go
bro.
across a mountain to get to one. Like, it's crazy.
And like they're all like the same. They all think the same stuff. We live in New York. There's so many amazing, beautiful people. So many all different.
Diverse.
Exactly,
Right.
man. We're
So
lucky.
diverse.
We're really lucky.
Yeah, just building off of what Oscar said, I kind of feel the same way. Like I've had an ex like I've thought about after we've broken up, and but after like a couple of years, like I've just had to move on. You have to move on. Like if you get stuck on them, you're never gonna be able to really give your full self and like your true self to your other person who you decide to be with. So no, but I think it's true. We live in such a very diverse community in New York that there's so many other wonderful people here that you haven't met, and you're probably never going to meet unless you open yourself up again. And I think a lot of people like to stay closed and they like to kind of live in this past relationship that didn't work out for whatever reasons, whatever it may be. You got to allow yourself to move on and eventually.
Dropping facts, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean but that's kind of like how I've been doing. I've learned that I have to drop whatever happened in the past happened, and I'm never going to be able to find somebody else if I keep living
In the
how
past.
I was in high school and through COVID. Just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's tough because that's an emotional barrier.
Yeah.
Because it's
a
like,
little bit harder.
yeah, it's like you think about that person, like you miss them, you want to be with them, but then you're like, damn, they're more than likely never gonna come back, or they already have another person.
They moved on.
Yeah, they moved
Yeah.
on, and it's like,
I mean, it was
damn,
hard
like-
for
like,
COVID.
yeah, like no, obviously, yeah, it's hard for COVID because it's like how what real way are you gonna be able to communicate with people? So it's just like it's just that process of getting over it and then just accepting it, knowing what happened, what went right and wrong, and just moving on. That's all you could honestly do.
And the big part, like, for me is that, like, I would want to, like, not even, like, even have, like, a relationship. Like, I just want to speak to you about something that you can understand that we already went through, that
That'd
you
be
could.
the hardest.
The hardest,
Yeah.
the
bro.
hardest. And it's just, like, you can't speak to that person anymore for whatever reason that was.
Yeah,
So, kind of sucks.
I hear that. All right, so on to a question that's a little bit less serious. Do you like being the big spoon or the little spoon?
What day of the week is it?
I don't know. I'm versatile. I don't care either way. It also depends on how I don't really have a type. I like girls of all kinds of shape, sizes. Whatever. So like, I've been with some some women that are like taller than me. And like kind of some stallions. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I'm like, yo ma, like, put your arms around me. I want to feel secure right now. What's up?
I love this guy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar, you're my guy,
Can
bro.
we talk about it? Like Oscar's mad real. Like you're mad real for
I'm
that.
open
Thank
with this
you.
stuff, man. You know.
You
Thank
got that
you.
confidence in
Yeah.
him.
But majority
Oh.
big spoon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
majority big spoon.
Majority
Yeah.
big spoon.
But you like being the little spoon sometimes. It's
Sometimes.
nice.
Sometimes I need to be-
Sometimes very situational.
Very-
Yeah.
yeah. If it's a rough day, then I just need
Again,
something.
you wanna be a
Yeah.
boss, yo,
Yeah.
just hold me.
Actually, more than like a spoon, I'm more like, yo, like just hold my head, you know, like
Yeah.
and just, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
couch little spoons. Couch little spoons.
Yeah.
But no bed little spoons.
Okay.
No bed little spoons.
Facts.
Thank you. You guys are giving me like I'm really like writing this down. Thank you.
Opinions and-
Okay. This is a more serious question. What does love mean to you?
Want to start, Quadri? Go ahead.
Love is understanding, trusting, and damn, that's a broad question. But for me, love is somebody who I could understand, somebody who understands me. Damn, that's literally it for me. Like just understand me, understand my past, my family, my brothers, and just like that. You know how it is, like Muslims, you know, it's weird. It's weird. But that's love to me. Just love my family, have respect for my family, and yeah, that's literally it for me.
That's kind of solid. Daniel, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I think love is different for everybody. I don't think it's one singular answer, but I think obviously understanding is a big part of it. But I think another part of it is that for me, love has always been about, I guess, like the way that we communicate and how like we view. Like I know that I will jump in front of a bus for you, and you have to, and I expect you to do that for me. So it's this level of I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to make you happy and to make you successful, and I need you to do that for me as well. It's this level of understanding too, and this level of acceptance of that you're the person I want to be with the rest of my life, and I just know that for a fact. And I know you feel the same way. That to me is what love is two people who are willing to die for each other. And that's kind of, to me, that's something that everyone should try to strive for.
Yo, bro, how do you top that, bro?
Whoa.
I mean,
bro.
really, like how do you top that? How do you top that? Is anybody going to?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you want to go first?
I'll go
I
first.
think we should all go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Again, love is different for everybody.
Right.
It's different for me,
Yeah.
it's different for Quad, different for Oscar.
So I see it as us being guardians for each other. I look out for her, she looks out for me. Like I'm by her side for anything she goes through, and she's by my side for anything I go through. And it's like we just have like that genuine connection and relationship where it's like we understand each other, we understand where we come from, we understand why why we think the way we do, and just that's how it has to work. Because if you don't understand each other, like how you think and your actions, then it all falls apart. Like I feel like the most important thing for love is like, or even when a relationship starts and it starts to get serious, is you have to understand what that person has been through and why they are the way they are.
Wow. Good answers all around.
Stuff.
Okay,
EJ, you
EJ,
want to go
wanna
first?
next?
Oh yeah, I see. Love for me is like we have to make time for each other. I kind of agree with everyone else has said, but like I said, I'm busy. You're busy. We're busy. We should be busy. And the way you take out your time to actually understand your person or spend time with your person is very important to me.
Right. How do you spend time, or how do you make time for somebody?
You would share like certain interests that kind of like intersect schedules, I guess. So
Okay.
I'm a car person. I work on cars a lot. If you work on cars, that's a plus.
Nice.
So we'll be spending 3, 4, 5 hours together working on a car, or you know that I like this, so we go out somewhere where I like and you like, and regular
Nice.
stuff.
I like that. What about you, Oscar?
Man, love can be a lot of different things. I don't know. For me, love is like, I don't know. It's so many different things. Like, can I always feel comfortable around you no matter what? Like, can I be, open to you? Can I be like, can I, share my feelings with you? Like, can I do these kind of things? Like, it's also like, I don't know. It's like also like simple things. It's like, do we make each other laugh? Do we make each other smile? Does I don't know. It's like, and not only everyone said like, yeah, I agree with like, I totally agree with like this, do we because I always look out for her. I hope she looks out for me. But also, like, I think that also means, does she call me out on my BS sometimes when I'm like kind of being a jerk or maybe being a little bit ignorant, or just, maybe not seeing something the whole way. I appreciate that. And I hope I can do the same, for them. Love is, it's about also like being mad vulnerable about each other. It's about coming home and like, it doesn't matter, like, my hair's messy, I haven't really, shaved in a little bit, but that's okay. We're still going to come home. She doesn't care that I look a little bit rough. I definitely don't care if she looks a little bit, like tired. She comes home from the gym. Like, I think that is something like specific. I mean, in my experience, like with women and stuff, like a lot of them feel like, it's a big, like if she can like walk around like kind of not dolled up and like, no makeup and stuff around you, then that means she's very comfortable around you. Because I think a lot of women feel like they always have to be really presentable or else they're going to get judged and hated on. And I think that means a lot.
Case by most men, we don't care.
Yeah.
Well, not that we don't care.
Or it's not a necessity.
It's not a necessity.
And also, I don't know, maybe not to be too nasty. Like love is like also like because I don't know. I mean, sex life is important too, but it's not the only thing. So it's also I care about you whenever I'm always even when you're sick and like tired, like sweating, throwing up, I'm still gonna be there. I'm still gonna hold you, because that's what you mean to me. Wake up in the morning, I'm like, here, like, let's kiss. She's like, oh, I would, but my breath smells bad. I'm like, come here, I like seasoning. That doesn't matter, I love you and stuff. Like,
but it's like the way it is like we learn to love everybody at their worst, and if we can do that, then that is love right there. Yeah, that's love.
All right, because you just said love at your worst, right, which I agree with. What I don't agree with is the saying of if you don't love me at my best, at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Well, usually,
or something like that. Like
I feel like there's in the phrase in general, it's not always the worst. But I feel like when people use it, it just means it's usually like, or just I don't know. Usually, just the people I know sometimes use that the most. Like people are just kind of mean and like rude, and it's like it's like I don't know. You're like, I don't know, I'll always be there for you. You're worse when you're sad, when you're upset. Sometimes, if you lash out at me, that's okay as long as we can address that later and, like, talk about it in, like, a mature and, like, appropriate way. But, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I kind of feel you sometimes.
I think that, like, everybody has faults. And, like, if you want to be with a person, you have to understand what their faults are. Mm-hmm. And you have to learn how to deal with it and how to live with it. And if you really do love that person, you will learn how to handle their faults.
Yeah.
How you make each other better.
But people can also grow from their faults,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
so
I think
depends on what it is.
Yeah. And then obviously not like don't try and there's certain things you can't change about a person. There's some things you shouldn't try and change about a person, but also like like I said before, I like it when I'm around with someone who's kind of like, hey Oscar, like you kind of like will call me out for things sometimes and help me improve as a person, because that's also we shouldn't just always put up with each other's worst. We should, help each other work on our issues. That is obviously, unless you're a trained therapist, you can't be that for your partner, obviously. Yeah. And sometimes I think in relationships, sometimes men and women, it doesn't, in both case scenario, we expect each other to fix too many of our problems that are like like your partner should be open to and always be open to like have you cry, have you talk to them and stuff. But at the end of the day, like unless you're like a therapist or something, you can't totally fix every problem that they've had in their life. It's unfair for you to expect your woman or partner to do that for you.
Be there for them. That's the
Exactly. Be there for them.
Yeah.
Say, here, I'm always here to. If you want to just vent and stuff, I'm always here.
Right.
But like also, sometimes like, with deep things that might have happened in your past, like your partner can't always heal that for you. Sometimes that also can be like, hey, babe, like, do you need go to therapy? Do you need this kind of help? I'm here for you, no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there should be a line between loving you at your worst and something that's completely like not okay to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people feel as though what shouldn't be tolerable is loving you at your worst. Yeah. And you shouldn't mix that.
That's probably the best thing anyone said to this question. Yeah, I really agree with EJ there. Like someone being physically or emotionally abusive is not your worst. That's just you having a serious problem that you need to get checked out by professionals, Yeah.
And EJ's not a professional.
Right. So I guess on to the next question.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that girls can have guy friends?
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
They definitely can. They definitely can. But
I don't mind.
We're mature.
Boundaries.
Yeah,
I mean, like, whenever people pose that, like, I don't know, I have some of my best friends are women,
right.
And even though, like, say, for example, like, I don't know, we're not best friends. Like, Miad's my friend. Like, it would suck if my girlfriend was like, you can't hang out with Mia. It's like, why? Like, we've had a strictly platonic relationship the whole time we've known each other. You know?
Yeah.
Also, I'm just heavy on, like, we're adults. Like, why would I want to be with somebody who I feel like is going to cheat on me the moment I, like, can't see them? Like, you know, why would you ever want to be with a person like that?
Respect and trust.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then, like, I feel like if you have respect for your partner, then you should respect who she carries herself around. Yeah. So that wouldn't even, like, come across as, okay, maybe this friend is trying to da-da-da-da-da. But I feel like sometimes guys do have an ulterior motive. Like, even though if they are friends, like, they don't present 100% of what they want when you meet them.
Yeah.
So
they're just probably waiting for the
right opportunity.
Yeah.
And that
is a tough thing to definitely think about. Yeah, for sure. Sometimes, hey,
that's why I don't think about it too much.
Yeah. I'll be looking at those guys sometimes like, hey, you know, like, you're in the picture,
bro?
but, like, you know, that's me right there. You know, I know you're tight. I bet you wish you were me right now. But, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. I say yes, you can be friends, but you just gotta have boundaries. That's it.
I was like, I don't know, like, I have friends with the opposite. And, like, honestly, I love having my platonic women friends. You know, I love that. Like, they've given me so much helpful advice.
Insider scoop.
Exactly. They've put me on to their hot friends. You know, I love that stuff. You know, and even like, I'm being tongue in cheek with that last comment, but, like, I'm being funny. But, like, also, you know, like, some of my best friends have been, like, women. I don't know where I'd be in my life without them. You know what I mean? And, you know, I wouldn't want to deprive my girlfriend of that, you know, like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Because also, I feel like if you, also, just, I don't do this anymore, but, like, as someone who has maybe been the other guy once or twice in his life.
I didn't want to say it.
Not anymore, this is a long time ago, different Oscar, but, like, when you find out that her man is, like, doesn't want her to hang out with you or something, then you smell blood in the water. You're like, oh, you think I'm hotter than you, don't you, bro? Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's just advice someone who's been on both sides of the fence, just letting y'all guys out there know.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
Okay, last question, because I think we should end on a fun note. If poison expires, is it more poisonous or less poisonous?
Either way, you're going to die.
If poison expires, is it more poisonous or less poisonous?
It has to be less, because if it expires and doesn't work anymore.
Then it's still not, but it's still not as poisonous.
No, it's poison. Hang on. If a poison is meant to kill something, it should always kill something. Why make poison that expires?
Okay, but if the poison expires, that thing
then
with
you
that
shouldn't
person
have
would
that
be
poison. Then that's not poison.
The poison is still going to do its job.
Yeah,
It'll
right.
probably be, I don't know, it's going to be
Does poison expire?
Okay, but there's a less chance for that. It'll still be poisonous, but it'll be less deadly, let's say, if it's expired.
Nah, it's still poison.
All right, so we're going to put this to the test.
We go to
Brooklyn.
The same thing like medication. Like, medication doesn't, like, necessarily, like, expire. It's just that it's, like, its effectiveness starts to, like, decay a bit.
Well,
there's, like, a half-life
so
on
it's
it
still
or something.
poisonous.
There's definitely a lot of really old, like, 50-year-old rat poison in Brooklyn College. Let's test it out. Let's see if it kills us.
Great idea, Oscar. That's the best idea you had today.
All day today.
I'll go find a rat by somewhere in MTA.
You'll find a rat and use it on the rat. That's crazy. Y'all are something else. Okay. Anyways, this has been the Rampage. This has been Ask a Man special. I think we might do a part 2 because I didn't get to answer.
Definitely.
Thanks for.
I was late today. It was the bus, man.
Thanks for having us on today, Mia. We really appreciate it.
This was fun. This was fun.
I appreciate it so much. This has been the Rampage. This has also been our last episode of the semester. We'll be seeing y'all in the spring for the new season. Should it be a new season? I think it's gonna be a new season.
This is great. We love the Rampage.
Yo, shout out the Rampage, bro.
Shout out the Rampage, y'all. Shout out Beyond the Box Score. Shout out the Get Back. Shout out EJ who works on cars. Woo. Shout out Qadri. Yeah, you have Q&A.
Q&A.
Shout out Q&A.
Listen to our shows, please.
Please listen to
Need the
shows.
views.
Please listen to
We need
shows.
the clicks, guys.
We need the clicks.
We thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see y'all in the spring. Bye.